So let's talk about preparing for mediation, and this is more a counsel topic. Kim, so do you want to start this one off as well?
Sure. So in our materials, we provided a pretty detailed checklist of things that we think counsel should consider in preparing for a mediation. I'm going to focus today on 3 things. The first being that your client, really need to prep your client and ensure that they understand that they must come prepared to compromise. Mediation is a voluntary process, but mediation is also the opportunity for the parties to come together and try to craft creative solutions so that they don't end up in a courtroom and that they're able to actually resolve their dispute. So if your client is not prepared to move from their initial position, that kind of renders the mediation moot. So they must understand that they're not there to win. They're there to work with the other side to come up with a resolution to the dispute. And the second thing is, know your file. So you might want to consider preparing certain things in advance of the mediation. As an example, perhaps a chronology of events. I personally like to prepare a spreadsheet of facts, the material facts in one column and the corresponding evidence in the next column. It might also be helpful to do a family tree, especially if it's a huge family. And that's also helpful for the mediator to know the various cast of characters that are involved in the dispute. The third thing that you might want to consider preparing is a list of estate assets and liabilities, as well as a list of Section 72 assets if you're dealing with a dependent support claim. So a list of joint assets, list of assets that have beneficiary designations, that sort of thing. And then the fourth thing is a bill of costs, or at least a summary of the fees and disbursements that have been incurred to date. Because then that's helpful for you to take into mediation where you're having to discuss numbers.